Microbiologists basically study things that you cannot see with your eyes. You will need a microscope, or you will need other technologies that will allow you to see what's happening at the microscopic level. So we study bacteria, we study viruses, fungus, and things like that. NASA studies microorganisms because they're part of life. And microorganisms can be very good for people and can be really bad for people. And understanding the difference and having a balance, it's very important when you have a group of people living inside basically a can, which is what they're doing in space station or in a spacecraft. If you cannot control the ones that are not good, and if you cannot balance the ones that are good, the crew is going to potentially get sick. Hardware can get damaged. Microorganisms can actually damage materials. So the fact that we have an ecosystem of people in a closed loop, in a closed environment, also means that we have an ecosystem of microorganisms living there with the people. And it's very important that we keep that balance, otherwise we can have really terrible consequences. The greatest challenge of controlling microorganisms in the International Space Station or any spacecraft, any enclosed environment, if we go to the moon, if we go to Mars, in any of those places, is the greatest challenge will be basically making sure that the balance is achieved. We cannot sterilize the equipment that we send there for the most part, and definitely we cannot sterilize people. So we know that microbes are there and will be there all the time, and even microorganisms that might not be harmful on the ground can become harmful in an environment where perhaps immune system starts to get a little bit degenerated due to microgravity conditions or being away from Earth. So the greatest challenge is that balance where how do you decide that water is okay to drink and will not make somebody sick? How do you decide the air is clean enough for people? How do you decide all those requirements? How do you decide that 5 bacteria are okay, but 10 are not? That is the challenge of studying microbiology in a spacecraft.